Bonnie Blue has officially been banned from OF because even OF has limits to the dangerous debauchery, and her latest stunt has proven to be too vile, they don't even want it on their platform. Which that is just saying something if OF doesn't want you on their platform as a prostitute. It's shocking. She had plans to host a public petting zoo, and I will not get into the specifics of that, but let's just say that it was the most vile concept that only the devil himself could come up with.
Could it be Satan?
Thankfully, though, it has been canceled. So we, as a society, live to see another day. But the internet obviously had a response to this news of OF canning Bonnie. LOL, so OF has standards? I mean, they don't, but apparently when you are so far in the pits of hell, eventually hell will also reject you. Is that too harsh?
It's a harsh world.
Did they make any sort of statement of why they banned her?
Extreme challenge content is not available on OF and is not permitted under their guidelines. This is one of many challenges that they finally decided to crack down on. Okay, OF, thanks.
Did they ban her for the 1,000 men?
No, she's banned for this stunt that didn't even happen. For selling this stunt before it happened, they just banned her. And she's banned for life, like it's permanent ban. So she's done on there. That's why now is the time for her to have a change of heart, which is what we're going to talk about today. Someone else said, just curious, but why aren't the Her Body, Her Choice advocates not outraged and protesting only for violating her rights? Yeah, they're silent crickets on this one because even they don't like Bonnie, even though her body, her choice. Someone else made a good point and said, honestly, I think only should be banned. It's a detriment to society. Well, that's a good conversation to have. That's a way to take this that I think would actually be great. It's funny to me because even other popular OF creators are calling Bonnie out and complaining about her and saying that she's making a joke out of all of them, which they're all doing this to themselves. But if they suddenly aren't being taken as seriously by advertisers, well, they shouldn't have been from the start. So that's not Bonnie's fault. That's just the nature of this disgusting game that you all want to play for some reason. It's like the one girl, I'm not going to say her name, but there's another like very young, I think she's 20, a creator, being like, oh, this is not about female empowerment anymore, when she is one of the top producing creators. And though she does not have with the men, I believe, like Bonnie does, she is still putting out content of that very nature to millions of men, making over $70 million, I think, just this year alone.
How is that female empowerment?
But she's like, but Bonnie's not female. I'm female empowerment, but Bonnie's not. Girl.
Look in the mirror.
Look in the... Gosh, find self-respect. Dig deep. Find it somewhere within you. It should still exist. Yeah, but you know it's bad when like the other OF creators are like, well, she's worse than me. No, you're all bad. Bonnie is highlighting the very worst of what this allows and is, but everyone in it is still bad. Like, it's still a detriment for all parties. Bonnie has just gone the extreme. People are saying like she's like the LeBron, and then all the other basketball players don't want to play against LeBron because she's like so extreme. Like, but she is. There's part of me that wished that it was all a joke and she wasn't actually doing any of this, and so that she was just holding a mirror up to society. It's not it. She is. But I because it was then making everyone else be like, actually, we don't like it. Actually, no, I'm not that bad. But that's not what she's doing here, unfortunately. But this news of the OF ban comes on the heels of other conversations that women were having online, specifically about Bonnie, because this whole thing has just taken the internet and specifically the female side of TikTok by storm. First of all, before I get further into kind of this part of the discussion, I think that names have and carry a lot of power, which is why I want to be calling her Tia for the rest of this episode, because that is her birth name. Her name is Tia Billinger, and she's 26 years old. Tia recently sat down for an interview with a woman who, no matter how badly this woman wanted to get to the root of Tia's lifestyle and also try to shame her or instill any shame within her, Tia just proved to be stone cold and utterly shameless, as we all know. But specifically what I wanted to show in this is that I saw a lot of comments under the videos that I'm about to be getting into of people being like, well, she must have childhood trauma. There must be a trauma that then instilled this. Her childhood must have been horrible. Like, they can't wrap their brains around how she could get to this place, which I think is a very valid thing to ask and wonder and try to understand. And so one of the questions that I thought was interesting from this interviewer is that she did ask Tia specifically, what was your childhood like? Like, let us understand it. And this was Tia's response.
Just like I had the most normal childhood. I've got like mum, dad, sister, lived in like a small village. I had hobbies alongside school. I wasn't naughty at school, but like, yes, I didn't do my homework. Like, yes, I'd be late for class. So it was just like a cheeky, but not naughty, not like mischievous or anything like that. Was doing like dancing alongside school. So very just normal childhood.
So was like any experienced trauma in your childhood that you can recall
like,
that would have...
Zero trauma, no daddy issues. People look into my past a lot and they're like, there must be something, like something must be happening.
Because it is a big thing to just go from like having this beautiful life in a village to people on camera. That's like...
It was a beautiful life, but God, it was boring.
So she is saying, nothing happened. I lived a normal life and then I wanted to do this. What are your thoughts on that?
I think two things. I think one...
She's lying?
Maybe she has suppressed childhood trauma that she can't remember, because I know that happens a lot where kids will block out those memories entirely. And two, I know she got divorced, right? Maybe her divorce was traumatic and that led her to be like this.
It looks like she was with her boyfriend turned husband, now ex-husband, since she was 14 or 15. So she had like a long 10-year relationship with a man prior to all of this starting too. But everyone's desperate to cling to like what is the root of this? Like how do you get there? And she's being like, I'm choosing it and I'm there and I'm happy to be there. And everyone's like, you literally, there's no way. Like then they go into like the psychological element, like maybe she's like a sociopath. I mean, like the discussions that women have been having, like we need to understand this. With her latest stunt that ended up being canceled again, so many women were posting things like this online. This is before it was canceled. Waiting in line for Bonnie Blue's petting zoo so that I can clothe her and read her the history of women's rights. She already knows it. So no, I don't think that book will be the one that changes her life or any book regarding women's rights. Frankly, again, I think that's the reason why she was like, I'm totally cool to do this. Empowerment. One person said she is not a victim. I mean, a lot of people treat her like she is. This is fully her choice, as she says so often, and she is harming not only herself, but tons of other people in the process. And because all of our rational brains cannot seem to comprehend this in the slightest, people started going spiritual with it. It's the natural progression of this conversation. So I saw this conversation started in this one comment, and it said, I think Bonnie Blue is possessed by a concubine demon. And then the creator responded and said, you might be onto something. Even these non-religious folks started to call her possessed and use terms that were spiritual, which is interesting. Specifically, people are focusing on her eyes and how they just look like they have nothing behind them. So this is a photo of Bonnie as a child, which frankly, it breaks my heart to see these, and I think it breaks a lot of people's hearts. And then it just shows a photo of her now. Eyes do say a lot. Everyone always kind of, you look at people's eyes when they say like, oh, they have crazy eyes, or they're like dark and soulless. Like eyes tell a lot of a story. Every interview I've seen of her speaking, there's no emotion. You ask a question, you call her every name in the book, and she's like, yeah.
It's hard work being a slut. Like I've earned the title.
So you enjoy being called a slut?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, I genuinely believe she has a succubus possessing her. And I had to look up what a succubus is. It's like a demon that seduces men. And then I've seen other people say that it draws its force from its victims.
She's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
Another person said, all y'all saying succubus, but be for real, it's coke and cosmetic surgery. I mean, she also has clearly had work done, but there's something else there. It's like, and again, it's fascinating to watch the entire internet like scratch at the surface and try to figure out what it is. Another person said, how is she not a demon? I don't think she's a demon. I do think that there's something wrong, and I'm still not sure what that wrong thing is. She's such the extreme that even OF creators are wondering what's wrong. Like everyone on the spectrum is wondering what possibly is wrong. And so it makes sense that it has gone down into this spiritual level of a conversation, because any worldly thing like doesn't make sense. These TikToks are talking a lot about her eyes and understanding what she used to look like, maybe her past in general. A lot of women have frankly become kind of hyper-focused on her past to, again, try to understand what happened, what has gone wrong. And honestly, it led me down a rabbit hole as well, because again, knowing her real name, she has a LinkedIn. Only a little bit over 2 years ago, she was working in recruitment for several years. She had a normal life and career. And I went deep into the rabbit hole of her LinkedIn last night, because I too am desperately trying to understand something about this woman. I mean, she was an active LinkedIn user too, like a very much professional, posting all the time about her recruitment. There's all these photos, like group photos which some of them she does frankly just look like she does not want to be there, but she at least looks healthier than she does now. Speaking though of getting healthy and pausing this topic for a moment, let me tell you about Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies are a convenient dietary supplement to ensure that you get a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in every single day. Balance of Nature takes fruits and vegetables, they freeze dry them, turn them into a powder, and then put them into a little capsule. Then all you have to do is take that capsule every day and your body knows exactly what to do with them because it knows exactly what to do with all those different fruits and vegetables, and that's all that's in those capsules. There's no preservatives, there's no garbage ingredients, it's just simply fruits and veggies. I love taking my Balance of Nature every day to make sure that I'm getting good nutrients in my body, especially when I have a crazy routine and maybe I'm not eating as well as I should be. So if you guys want to give Balance of Nature a try yourselves, you can go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Conrad for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer, plus you get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Conrad today. Now back to these old photos of Tia. She also said in an interview she hated her job. Get a different job. You don't have to work in an office cubicle, but oh my gosh, you don't have to do what you're doing either. There's such an extreme. She's like, I was bored, so I did this. You were bored? Go do literally any other job on the planet. It breaks my heart seeing her young and seeing her before this life. And also, it breaks my heart now because of what she's doing. She's mocking God. She's spitting in the face of his creation. She's blatantly, happily destroying her own body and the bodies of others. But in the midst of seeing many women react to her on TikTok, I started to see Christian women start to come through and post things like this. So this is in response again to that petting zoo that was coming for Tia. No, because what if instead of 2,000 men showing up to Bonnie Blue's event, 2,000 women got in line to clothe, clean, and pray over her? Someone please coordinate this. I'm literally tearing up just thinking about it. It's such the opposite of how the world reacts to her. And so that's where I kind of saw this and I thought it is so beautiful in the sense that she doesn't want this. Like, she's not asking for prayer. She's not asking for sympathy or empathy. And if anything, she's rejecting it outright and then mocking Christians. But even still, they're posting things like this because that's the heart of Jesus. You see wickedness, utter detest and disgust. And yet there's still this undercurrent of but maybe she can be saved. One of the top comments here was 2,000 women can still pray for her. And that's such a great point. And not even just 2,000. I mean, all of the thousands of people that talk about her every day, heck, all of the people watching this video right now, we can be praying for her. And I know it almost feels like, but she doesn't want it. Even so, Get In losers were driving to Bonnie Blue's petting zoo to surround her in prayer, cast out demons, and boldly share Jesus with the men standing in line. This is the attitude that Christians need to have. If we want to win back culture, if we want to win back the hearts and minds of people, I love this attitude. In the comments, everyone was saying her real name. Just oh, good, I'm going to start praying for her name, Tia. The woman of God speaking life over her is healing me. Yeah, that attitude is also just a reflection of his character on other people too, for everyone to see it. And I think that's awesome. Here's another video of that undercurrent of sympathy here. Bonnie Blue with her petting zoo, Sydney Sweeney with her bathwater soap, Sabrina Carpenter, new album cover. Time to pull up this movie again because women are so much more than that. I love that scene from the Barbie movie, but the Barbie movie is not going to be the thing to change hearts and minds. Maybe for a moment it will remind women that they were made for more than sex or being a symbol or becoming a toy that thousands of men can use and abuse every day. But they were certainly made for more than this. Right now, in a sense, she is symbolizing an extreme test case that is unfolding within society right now. Like in a culture that says sex is just sex and doesn't mean anything. Yet they take issue with it in extreme cases like Tia. A culture that says we're just human bodies, here for a second and then gone. Evolved from apes with no real reason for existing. Yet, simultaneously, acknowledging that someone like Tia is lacking a soul. But I see this detestment of this debauchery as a sign that sex is not merely just sex, and that our bodies are more than flesh and blood. We do have souls, and our bodies were created in the image of God. And for that reason, though she rejects and mocks every core principle that I believe in, I too want to start praying for Tia. She is so lost and taking millions of others down with her. But that doesn't mean that she is gone forever or that her soul is not worth saving. And what a testimony that could be if she, one day, gets saved. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. For other content, you can follow me on Instagram and X, as well as our new comment section Instagram, which is very fun. It's popping over there. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.